So, 007 First Light is finally out. IO Interactive, the studio behind the legendary Hitman series, has just dropped what might be the most ambitious Bond game ever made, and I have been deep in it already. But here's the thing, a lot of players are going to jump into this like it's a simple action game. Trust me, it is not. This is a layered espionage experience with stealth, gadgets, melee, dialogue, and decisions. And if you go in blind, the early missions will absolutely chew you up. So today, I'm breaking down my 10 essential tips that you need to know before you start playing 007 First Light. Whether you're a Bond superfan or a total newcomer, these will save you hours of frustration. Let's go. All right, tip number 1, and this is crucial. Understand what kind of game you're actually playing. The game runs on 3 pillars: stealth, combat, and charm. IO Interactive has been very open about this. You can go through an entire section without firing a single bullet, using disguises, distractions, and Bond's natural charisma to bluff past guards. Or you can go full loud and use cover-based gunfights and melee takedowns. Here's the thing. The game rewards patience and planning far more than it rewards aggression. If you rush in guns blazing every single time, you will run out of ammo, get surrounded, and die. Tip number 2, and this one people sleep on early on. The Q lens is your scanner gadget, and it is your best friend in every single mission. Activating it highlights key objects in the environment, security cameras you can hack, environmental hazards, interactable objects, and enemy patrol routes. Think of it like detective vision in the Arkham games or Witcher senses, except it's cooler because it's a James Bond spy gadget. Q literally built it for you. Tip number 3, the melee system is deeper than it looks. Do not just spam the punch button. 007 First Light has a full hand-to-hand combat system, and it is absolutely cinematic. Bond. Tip number 4, stealth in this game goes way beyond crouching in a corner. IO Interactive has built what they call a social stealth layer into 007 First Light. And this is where the Bond fantasy really comes alive. You can blend in with civilians, eavesdrop on conversations to gather intel, follow targets discreetly, and use Bond's charm and wit to talk your way into areas you have no business being in. One of the early missions has Bond at the Grand Carpathian Hotel in Slovakia. A global chess tournament is being hosted there. You don't have to fight your way through. You can listen in on the right conversations, grab a disguise, and use Bond's silver tongue to walk right past security. Tip number 5, and this one is a game changer in gunfights, the focus ability. Focus, sometimes called instinct in earlier materials, is a tactical mechanic that slows down time for a brief moment, letting you precisely target specific things, disarming an enemy's weapon, shooting out a camera, neutralizing a specific threat before they can raise an alarm. Think bullet time, but spy flavored. Tip number 6, you have a full toolkit of gadgets. Learn what each one does and when each one is the right tool. 007 First Light gives you several gadgets, and they're all purpose-built for stealth and tactical play. The Q-Wad. This lets you distract enemies and disable camera systems, essential for creating windows to slip through undetected. The Dart Phone. This one is sneaky and brilliant. You can use it to reposition enemies, moving guards to where you want them without raising any alarm, critical for setting up silent takedowns. The Smoke Pod blocks camera vision and enemy sightlines. Great for covering a quick sprint across an exposed area. The Q Watch, Bond's iconic watch, has multiple functions including a laser. In combat, you can use it to blind opponents mid-fight. Tip number 7, yes, this is a Bond game, so of course there are car chases. 007 First Light features driving sequences, including segments in the Aston Martin Valhalla supercar, and these play very differently from the on-foot sections. The key mistake new players make is treating the chases like a racing game and trying to go as fast as possible at all times. These sequences are more cinematic and structured. They reward control and positioning over raw speed. Tip number 8, do not rush past the MI6 headquarters segments. Between missions, the game brings you back to MI6 base, and a lot of players immediately skip all of this to jump back into the action. Big mistake. The HQ sections have Bond interacting with MQ and Moneypenny, and these conversations are not just flavor. They contain mission prep intel, story context, and sometimes unlock additional gadgets or strategic options for upcoming assignments. Moneypenny acts as a field analyst in First Light. You'll be hearing her on comms constantly during missions. Getting context from her during HQ visits means her mid-mission tips land with more weight. Bond's mentor, Greenway, played brilliantly by Lenny James, also gives you preparation advice here. He's reluctant, he's tough on Bond, but listen to him. His warnings are usually gameplay hints in disguise. Explore HQ, talk to everyone. The game is telling you things you need to know. Tip number 9, TacSim mode. And this one is for players who want to get good. 007 First Light includes a mode called Tactical Simulation, TacSim, which is set in an MI6 training facility. It starts off with the first 2 missions of the game available to replay, and after you complete the main story, the full TacSim suite opens up. TacSim adds scored mission runs, additional modifiers that change the rules scheme, like no gadgets, time limits, enemies only alerted once, and progression-based unlocks. Here's why you should care even early on. Playing the first 2 missions in TacSim before continuing the main story is a great training ground. It forces you to approach the same scenarios differently, teaching you the depth of the stealth and combat systems without the pressure of story progression. Tip number 10, and I can't stress this enough, choose your difficulty honestly. 007. First Light is not a walk in the park, even on standard difficulty. The melee combat is demanding, the stealth detection can be unforgiving, and enemies are designed to be genuinely challenging, not bullet sponge punching bags. If you come from Hitman, you'll find the systems familiar, but the combat considerably more intense. If this is your first IO interactive game, be humble about difficulty, at least for your first playthrough. And those are my 10 essential tips before you start playing 007 First Light Look. IO Interactive had a lot to prove with this one. The Hitman pedigree is obvious, but 007. First Light is its own thing, so bigger set pieces, a proper narrative, Bond's voice and personality front and center, and from everything I've played so far, they've nailed it. Drop a comment below. Are you going stealth or going loud? Let me know your playstyle. Links to full mission walkthroughs and my full review are below.
Any sage advice?
Play nice.
Always.